Tom Morgan. I'm the director of the Alworth Center for the Study of Peace and Justice here at the College of St. Scholastica. One of our events every academic year is to put on a series of programs, a series of lectures where we bring outside and very authoritative speakers to address a critical issue in the realm of peace and justice. Over the years, we've had talks on the role of religion in the secular world. Is religion a force for good or evil? One year the topic was, is America truly the indispensable nation, as Madeleine Albright once said? And this past year, our topic dealt with violence, and is violence inevitable in the human condition? This year, academic year 2016-17, the theme is Voices of America. We take that from the Voice of America radio, official radio station that the United States government operates that gives the official American view on things. Our Voices of America attempts to look at other voices that aren't often heard, people who speak for or on behalf or from other communities in the United States. The first lecture will be held September 27th, and the speaker is Sasha Abramsky, who is a freelance journalist and a teacher, a professor. He picks up where Michael Harrington maybe left off 50 years ago. Michael Harrington wrote a very famous book some 50 years ago called The Other America. Mr. Abramsky talks about the American way of poverty. We definitely have poverty in this country, as we have poverty all over the world. What is unique about the American version of poverty? Why do we have so much of it in this land of plenty? Abramsky will address that issue. Following Sasha Abramsky on November 15th, we take a look at this issue, a very famous book by Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow, Understanding Why There's So Many Black Men in Prison, and picking up on the idea that we are still haven't reached the issue of equality or total equality in the United States, speaking for black males. Unfortunately, Michelle Alexander will not be here, so I don't want to misrepresent that, but we do have, I am bringing a very authoritative speaker. His name is James Foreman, and he's a professor of law at Yale University, was very involved in establishing schools in minority communities in Washington, D.C., and he has written, I think, some very insightful commentary on the whole issue of the new Jim Crow. His most recent piece is Racial Critiques of Mass Incarceration Beyond the New Jim Crow. Beyond the New Jim Crow. He will speak about growing up black in urban America. Then in the spring term, we're going to look primarily at the issue of immigrants in the United States. On February 9th, we'll have Philip Cafaro, a professor, who will ask the question, how many is too many? And he claims to speak from a very progressive point of view, and he's very concerned from an environmental and an economic point of view about unlimited immigration. He has some ideas about immigration reform, but they are not that well heard, certainly in the progressive community. And finally, the last speaker we have in this series is March 7th, and this is Aviva Chomsky. And yes, she is related to the famous Noam Chomsky. That's his daughter. She has been writing and thinking about Hispanic immigration for several decades and written lots of really interesting commentary. This one in particular, How Immigration Became Illegal, speaks for Hispanics in general, and talks about how illegality and undocumented aliens are really concepts that were created for her to exclude and to exploit. We may have a fifth speaker, but I'm not ready to reveal who that might be. But anyway, we have 4 for sure, and maybe 5. All the lectures are at 7:30 in the Mitchell Auditorium, free of charge.